Hi, and welcome to your review on how to do well on assignment 3. So by now you would have received your feedback on assignment 2. Many of you have questioned us and gone back and forth, us being myself, Thomas, and Cassandra, as to clarification for your assignment. Awesome. So you've gotten your clarification, you've gotten your feedback. So now it's time to move forward on assignment 3. So first, what you want to do is, are you convinced that all 3 of your solutions are indeed solutions? Are they indeed digital marketing solutions versus implementation? A lot of you had submitted 3 solutions that really weren't solutions. You were given that feedback. So what you need to do before you continue is to make sure you actually have 3 solutions. Okay, so that's number 1. So the 3 solutions will be your digital marketing solutions. You know your solutions need to be something that adheres to gaining trust, creates engagement, creates an action, and it's measurable. So a solution, digital solution, has those characteristics. A digital solution is a series of posts, a series of digital content that you are suggesting to this business owner they need to implement somehow, especially if they can generate third-party content where their clients or their target audience is actually taking pictures of their products and posting that, because that's the strongest type of digital solution you can have. So first, you have 3 digital solutions. Okay, great. Well, now let's continue. So now what are you going to do? You're going to look at the group assessment for your assignment 3, and you're going to say, okay, what is it I need to do? I need to have a video which is less than 5 minutes long. So the video has to simply review what your digital solutions are and talk about how you're going to suggest you're going to implement them. So do you have enough visuals for your video before you get started? So what a lot of you did wrong in your assignment 2 was you had weird visuals going on, but they had nothing to do with your solution. The point here is a business owner would look at your video or at your project, and they would see, oh, this is what they're recommending. They're recommending that we do, and you may have an example of the company that you did your research on, and you have people or other companies that are similar that have digital solutions out there, and you're doing a screenshot or a part of a video to show what you mean of their digital solution. A lot of you did do that, which was awesome. So do you have enough visuals for your video and for your written proposal? Because your written proposal and and your video needs to be something that would be viewed in the eyes of a business owner who's really busy, is not techie, and they don't know what you mean by much of what we talk about. So you need to show a visual that, hey, this is what your solution would look like. Awesome. So regardless of what type of digital solution, do you have visuals? So you need to find visuals, and you're going to insert them in both the video where you're explaining your digital solution, as well as in your actual written document, your 15-page written document. Okay, so now what other visuals do you need for both? You're going to be talking about what your digital solution is. You're also going to be talking about how you're going to measure success. So this is where you're going to look at the textbook in the measurement area and look at how do we measure success. So you're going to then show some graphs or some examples on how you're going to measure success for your solutions. The third thing you want to make sure you have before you continue is you have your digital solution, yay. You have how you're going to measure success, yay. But I missed the whole part in the middle, how you're going to implement it. So again, you want to go to the textbook and look at how am I going to implement these digital solutions so they become something you're going to do the first time, and then the business owner can sustain them. How are they going to implement it? They're going to have to train some staff to start. They're going to have to maybe buy some equipment, or maybe they're just training them on how to do videos from their cell phones. Maybe they need to, for the implementation, maybe they need to get themselves some sort of, this is a tripod that I use for my camera whenever I'm doing any type of camera work from my cell phone. So you got to decide, what do they need? Maybe they need, if you're trying to have them do walk-arounds, and you want them to have maybe a Steadicam. So maybe they need a Steadicam if you've got them doing certain types of activity, so when they're walking around it's professional. And again, this is for my cell, so it's a Steadicam for my cell. So what do they need in order to actually implement your digital solution? So the first part of it is you've got visuals of what the digital solution is going to look like. The second part really is, how are they going to implement it? So you might end up having a photo of one of these things if you think they need something like this, or you may end up, photos mean a lot. And then the implementation, don't forget, will require costs. How much do these things cost? What will the cost be for them to implement it? So you can't just say you should do a video series and woohoo, you're done. Well, these guys are busy business owners. They don't know how to do a video series. So you need to write it down. Here are the steps to getting you ready to do a video. And here is what you need to purchase. You need to think about the lighting. You need to think about the sound. You need to know all these things before you're going to do the video. Or are they going to hire someone? Then if you want them to hire someone, you're going to have to cost out how much it is to hire somebody. So then you're going to look at it and go, okay, so this company's just starting out, and we're telling them they're going to hire someone who's going to cost them a few $1,000s, and you're not going to do well. That won't work, because that business owner doesn't have the funds to pay for something like that. So make sure that your implementation makes sense. So if the company has a lot of funds, if you feel that there's a company, the way that you've described the company, or the way that the company has been described to you through the little case studies, that they can afford some larger implementations, great. But most of the companies we're talking about in your case studies that you've been assigned can't afford large ticket items. So you need to make sure that they're reasonable. So the implementation, okay, now you're going to have to say which social media platforms are you going to be distributing this digital marketing solution on. Now finally, we're going to get into the digital platforms. Obviously a digital platform is not a digital solution. This is just the platform you're going to reach out to their target market. So obviously the platform you need to choose has to be a platform that, have you chosen a platform that their target market is on? Yes. Okay. So now you're going to have to train them or suggest to them how they implement their digital solution on that target market. You just say, put it on Facebook. That won't work. They don't know how to just put it on Facebook. You're going to have to share with them how they're going to put it on Facebook. And so all of that is implementation. How are they going to capture their content? How are they going to put it on one of the social media platforms? And then how they're finally going to measure it. How are they going to know if this was successful? Which call to action is going to make them successful? Okay, so let's start over. So you're going to start your digital, you're going to say, I've got 3 digital solutions. Number 1 will benefit the company by doing X, Y, Z, or another way to state how it's benefiting the company is, this digital solution will achieve this goal. So it's goal driven. So that's solution number 1. Solution number 2 is going to meet this goal or benefit the company this way. Solution number 3 is going to benefit the company that way. So solution number 1, when I'm watching your video for solution number 1, I'm going to see a photo of what you're talking about for solution number 1 as you're talking about how it's going to benefit the company. Solution number 2, I'm going to see a photo of how it's going to benefit the company, or what the solution is, and then you're going to talk about how it's going to benefit them, or you're going to put that up in an image. And then solution 3, what does that digital solution look like and how it's going to benefit the company? Awesome. Now you're going to talk about how you're going to implement it. Go back to solution number 1. How are you going to implement it? You might want to say this is something you're going to do the first one in 3 months and then do them afterwards every month. Oh, great. Or maybe it's something that you're getting third-party data where you're asking your those people that buy your products to take a picture and use a hashtag and put it up on Instagram if that's where your digital target market is. And that's great. So what are you going to do with that afterwards? So you've got all these random pictures that are out there. How are you going to train the company to now take those pictures and do something with them? So that's your implementation. Cool, eh? Okay. And now how are you going to measure success? So I would suggest in something like that, because you've got these third-party generated content now, which gives you a lot more trust than just your generated content. Hopefully you're going to measure success by the number of user-generated content you're receiving and sales that have increased because of this user-generated content. So you got to put it all the way through. How are you going to implement it? Do you have photos of how you're going to implement it? Show examples of, okay, this is what it looks like implemented. Here are the steps for your training. Implementation, I like charts for implementation. Charts are really good. Do this step 1, step 2, step 3, and then each step might have a price associated with it. So what you'll find, a good implementation plan, when you're working for a company and your boss wants to know, hey, how much is this going to cost? They're going to want to know each line item of the implementation plan, how long each one takes, and how much it costs to implement. That's a good implementation plan. So it's just a chart. So that's a really effective way to do it, and it's all in one place. So you have an implementation plan for your digital marketing solution 1. That's a chart, and then you indicate how you're going to measure it in the last part. So let's look at what we've got here. We have, and don't forget at the end of your 15-page project to cite where all of your content is coming from. Don't forget, you don't want to lose marks on not citing. You need to cite where your reference material is coming from, okay? If you're using music, you need to tell me if it's public domain or if you have the Creative Commons for the content as well as the music that you're using. The visuals, there's a lot of you that had some gorgeous photos in your assignment too, but we weren't clear where you received it from, if it was something you just stole. So you're going to lose marks on that. You want to make sure you indicate where all of your photos are coming from, okay? So again, the actual video is just 5 minutes. We only watch up until 5 minutes. The quality is going to have to be good. We don't want any watermarks anymore. This has got to look professional. We had some really creative videos, so they were wonderful. And so I'm looking for even more creativity on your final assignment. The written description in the video itself is no longer than 300 characters, not words, characters. So it's very short. It's basically less than 2 tweets. That's how short it is. And all you're saying in there is what your 3 digital solutions are, your 3 digital marketing solutions. And you're going to, I would suggest you should also write down your team member names. That would be helpful. And the written product that you're producing for us is no longer than 15 pages. It needs to be submitted as a PDF so that where there are no issues as far as us being able to access it. You need to get your YouTube video link and put it on the front page of your PDF. So you're going to have a cover page with the, what your project is called, the names of everybody that has worked on this project, and the video link to the YouTube 5-minute video on the front page. So what we do is we open up the PDF, we click on the video so it's playing while we mark it. So that's why it's got to be on the front page. The good ones, we're going to download those and likely share them with other business owners who have been involved in this class to some degree, especially the Paradise Vacation company. He's really looking forward to these videos. He's excited with what I've been telling him you guys have been doing so far. So that's really cool. So what else? Obviously, your video needs to be either unlisted so we can see it, or public. Do not make it private. Won't be able to see it, but you know that already. So posting, just like before, your group, one group member posts it to the Blackboard assignment area, okay, and it automatically reflects who all the groups are. So that's excellent. And so the way the grades are given are, you've got your grades are as follows. In the rubrics, you have 20% for professionalism and creativity on your video and your written submission. So spelling errors, you're going to go way down. If you don't have a table of contents, you're going to have marks taken off. If there aren't 3 separate individual digital solutions, it's not clear as to which solution are you giving me a implementation plan for. You have to have everything for solution 1. Put the title in it in the table of contents. Your solution 1 is called blah blah blah, not solution 1. Business owner doesn't know what that means. You want to call it, video series, and you want to indicate what the digital solution is. You want to indicate how they're going to implement it, and you want to indicate how they're going to actually measure success. Second solution might be XYZ. You're going to talk about that, what the benefits are to it, what it is, and then you're going to get into how they're going to implement it and how they're going to measure it. And then finally, the third solution's title. And so you're going to do that in a table of contents. And then at the end, you're going to cite where you've gotten your reference material from, or any of the other Creative Commons in there. And in the middle, you're going to write professionally. Okay? So that's really cool. You're going to use the textbook a lot for your implementation. We have a lot of different approaches, whether it's your calendar for implementation, whether it's your 3-month plan for rolling out different platforms. So you want to use the textbook for your implementation. So best practices. So those are kind of things that you're going to look at the textbook for. So let's see. So your 20% for professionalism, both the written and the video. 30% to identify 3 relevant, beneficial marketing solutions. So you're proposing 3 relevant, beneficial. So you're going to say, this solution will be, meeting these goals, and it will be benefit, and this is what the digital solution is. This is what digital solution 2 is, and this is what digital solution 3 is, and how each one benefits. And then finally, you've got your implementation plans. 30% for how you're going to implement solution 1, solution 2, and solution 3. That means which digital platforms are you putting them on? How are you capturing that content? So how are you implementing it? So on the video, you might just show the chart, and in the textbook, when you're writing it, you probably show the chart and then write some notes around it, okay? And then finally, 20% on how to guide the company on how they're going to measure the success of solution 1, solution 2, and solution 3. And in those, again, you want to make sure you have visuals showing them what you mean on how they're going to actually look at a report, or what a report should look like. Okay, so these are, I'm hoping that this gives you a lot of good information on how you're going to do well on your assignment 3. Thank you very much.